Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang business permits at regulatory fees ng ating mga private schools. Start na naman ng taon and renewal na naman ng mga permits, mayor's permit at magbabayad na naman tayo ng mga fees sa ating mga local governments. Karamihan ang deadline was January 15. Pero may mga iba naman na nag-extend ng kanilang compliance period. Yung iba katapusan ng January, yung iba naman hanggang ngayon ay pinapayagan pa rin makapag-settle ng kanilang mga bayarin sa ating mga local governments. At marami namang nagtatanong din sa akin at humihingi ng tulong kung maaring makiusap sa ating mga mayors kung po pwede i-waive yung ating mga regulatory fees na due from last year. Due nga noong January. And so, before the deadline, before January 15, sumulat po tayo sa leagues of cities, municipalities, at yung mga organizations sa mga local chief executives. At sumulat din po tayo sa DILG at sa Congress at sa Senate requesting to endorse that request, para baka sakaling payagan tayo na i-waive na lang muna. Saan po ba nanggagaling yung mga private schools sa request nila to waive? Yung regulatory fees po kasi, ito yung mga garbage collection, electrical inspection, sanitary permits, yan. So, and others, depende po sa local government ninyo. But, syempre, ang pakiusap po ng ating mga private schools, since naka-close naman ang mga schools, almost the entire year ng 2020, wala naman po sigurong cost. Wala naman siguro pong actual na cost yung garbage collection. Wala din po siguro mga inspection fees dahil nga po ang mga schools ay nakasara. At kung meron man, siguro very minimal lang. So, pwede rin i-reduce yung kinokolekta sa mga private schools. And of course, nakikiusap din dahil nga since nakasara ang school at because of the pandemic, may adverse economic impact sa ating mga estudyante, marami ang hindi nakapag-enroll. So alam naman po natin lahat ng average decline in enrollment is around 50%. Yung ating pong national data shows that almost half or even more than half ang hindi po nakapag-enroll ulit sa mga private schools. So ibig sabihin, naapektuhan po ng malaki ang viability at sustainability ng mga private schools. In fact, marami na po ang nagsara. So ito pong sanang reduction or waiver on fees, malaking tulong po ito sa mga private schools para makapagpatuloy po sila sa kanilang operation. So diyan po nanggagaling yung mga private schools at nagpapasalamat po ako sa ilang mga mayors and local chief executives na tumugon po doon sa request natin. May mga iba po na nag-reduce at yung iba naman ay nag-waive totally ng mga bayarin ng mga private schools. Pero meron din namang iba na hindi po sila nag-waive, hindi rin nagbaba, bagkos ay tinaasan pa at sinisingil yung mga hindi nakolekta ng mga nakaraang taon, nakaraang administrasyon at nagcha-charge pa ng penalties at surcharges. So kaya po marami ang nakikiusap sa akin kung papaano nila ito mapaparating sa kanilang mga mayors. Meron nga pong isa dito, isang ating follower na nag-send sa akin ng result ng kanilang pakikipag-usap sa isang city. Dito yan sa Metro Manila. Na ang reply po sa kanila ay naintindihan naman ang sitwasyon ng mga private schools sa panahon ngayon, pero kailangan din daw po ng budget ng local government nila pagtugon sa pandemic, sa COVID-19 pandemic. Ngayon, mukhang maganda naman pakinggan yung explanation at hindi na nga po daw nila itutuloy yung kanilang request. Pero kung iisipin po ninyo, yung pong nakokolekta in the form of regulatory fees, hindi naman po siguro tama na ito'y gamitin para sa pandemya, na sabihin ay para sa pangtulong sa pandemya sa mga constituents. Dahil meron pong budget naman dyan from the national government At in fact, meron mga ayuda, no, para sa mga constituents na ito naman ay binigay sa mga ating mga local government. So parang hindi po yata tama din yun, ano, kung kukunin natin sa mga schools na hindi nag-ooperate yung ating pong ipangtutulong. I'm sure marami pong ibang pinagkukunan ang mga cities. In fact, national government support is number one, no? So I just would like to share to everyone for information, for legal information na rin po, no, sa patuloy nating pag-discuss, pagtalakay ng issue na ito, at to explore win-win situations, no, in different issues on this subject matter. All right, now I'd like to state, no, based on a Supreme Court decision, regulatory fees are not meant to be revenue sources of local government units. In the case of American Mail Line versus City of Basilan, the Supreme Court explained that the collection of regulatory fees should not be made as a source of revenue of local government. All right. In the exact words of the Supreme Court, it said, "The power to regulate as an exercise of police power does not include the power to impose fees for revenue purposes. And for fees to be purely regulatory in nature, the same must be no more than sufficient to cover the actual cost of inspection or examination as nearly as can be estimated." End of quote. So you see here, sinabi po ng Supreme Court, kailangan yung fees, yung regulatory fees should be close to the actual cost, no? So cost of inspection, cost of garbage collection, or as nearly as can be estimated. Dapat yung malapit dun sa actual cost. Hindi ito dapat source of income, no, ng local governments. It is only up to the cost of regulation. So tingnan po ninyo mabuti at itanong ninyo sa inyong local government kung ano po yung basihan ng ating mga binabayaran, no? Minsan may I know may mga local governments, so for example garbage collection, it is based on rate per square meter. Minsan napaisip ako, parang yan ba ay is that a good approximation of the actual cost of garbage collection? Yun, tama po kaya yun? Is that close to the actual cost pagka ganun ang ating computation? Is it based on the land area or lot area? No? Kasi sinabi rin ng Supreme Court, no, in the case of Progressive Development Corporation versus Quezon City, all right, that the charge of a fixed sum should have a relation to the cost of inspection and regulation, no? So if it bears no relation to the cost at all, it may be considered as a tax, no? Not merely regulatory fees. Okay? And why is that important? Because if you are a non-stock, non-profit educational you are exempt from income taxes, no? National and local income taxes. So kung merong regulatory fees pero ang binabayaran mo not really based on cost of regulation but is already considered a tax, so hindi naman po tama yon, no? In the Bureau of Local Government Finance opinion dated May 4, 2001, it was held that non-stock, non-profit educational institutions are exempt from business tax and mayor's permit, but are only required to pay regulatory fees such as garbage fees, sanitary inspection, and electrical inspection fees. The same was also provided in the Bureau of Local Government Finance opinion dated November 17, 1994, where it was held that local government units cannot impose mayor's permit fees and other license fees on educational institutions that are non-stock, non-profit. But payment of regulatory fees, sanitary inspection, and electrical inspection fees may be legally required under Article 244 of the Implementing Rules and Regulations, implementing Section 153 of the Local Government Code. So, maliwanag po ito, no? Now, on the setting aside also the law, all of these laws and the jurisprudence that I've discussed, I hope we also give some premium or consideration on the complementary role of the private schools in our localities. No? But of course, yung complementary role that is recognized by our Constitution, no, under Article 14, Section 4, no, that there should be a complementarity, no, between the public and the private institutions in the education sector. Yung pong ating yung pong tulong naman, no, ng ating mga private schools sa ating mga localities. Number one, when the private schools are established in a city or municipality, they help decongest the enrollment in the local schools or in the public schools. And in a way, the cities and municipalities are able to save money for construction of new buildings and classrooms and even hiring and training of new teachers. So, yan po ay malaking tulong din. No, at of course, when you also accept enrollment from students from other cities, from other places, they also help in the economy, in the local economy, kasi they consume goods, they consume services dun po sa ating locality. And of course, we help in providing access to education, no, in general, and we are able to help through the participation of the private sector. So sana po yan ay i-consider din, at ako po ay nagpapasalamat again, maraming salamat dun po sa ating mga mayors na tumugon po sa ating pakiusap. Sana po patuloy po ninyong i-explore kung ano pa po sana ang pwedeng maitulong natin sa ating mga private schools at this time of the pandemic.